Between two events, we're going to define average velocity and average acceleration. The average velocity between two events is the average rate of change of the position with respect to the clock time. Now you might ask, average rate of change of the position of what? Well, it's whatever we're measuring the position of. That might be a little bit circular, but it'll become very clear. Average rate of change of, the average acceleration is the average rate of change of velocity with respect to clock time. Note we're using ROC to abbreviate rate of change and WRT to abbreviate with respect to. We also might want to talk about the velocity at an instant. What is the velocity of this object right now? Not an average velocity over some time interval, but a velocity at an instant. And we can define that to be, and you're in a university physics course, you've had calculus, you've studied limits, you know the limit definitions of derivatives and so forth. So this shouldn't be any surprise. Okay, the velocity at an instant, I'm going to say, is the limiting value of average rates. Now I've left off average rates of change of what with respect to what, but this will be average rates of change of, well, whatever you take average rates of change of to get velocity, namely average rates of change of position with respect to clock time. So limiting value of the average rates of change of position with respect to clock time on time intervals containing that instant. Remember, we want the velocity at some instant. We use time intervals containing that instant as the time intervals approach zero. The time interval being the change in clock time. So whatever our instant is, our time interval always has to contain the instant. Every time interval has to contain the instant. And we shrink the time intervals down around that instant. And the limiting value of that as the time interval approaches zero is going to be what we call our instantaneous velocity, our velocity at an instant. We can at the same time define acceleration. The acceleration at an instant, just replace velocity in this definition here with the word acceleration. So it's going to, the acceleration at an instant is going to be the limiting value of the average rates on the interval containing that instant as time interval approaches zero.